April 1986, Ukraine, Chernobyl, the heart of a disaster. Inside Chernobyl, workers carry on, unaware of the impending catastrophe. 1:23 a.m. Reactor 4 begins a test, but a chain of events that will change everything is set in motion. The engineers start the test, but something goes horribly wrong. Safety systems are bypassed. The reactor shakes. Pressure builds uncontrollably. The system collapses. 1:23 a.m. Explosion. Radioactive materials are released into the atmosphere. Panic. Workers flee, but the damage is done. Radiation escapes into the air. As the fire burns, helicopters fly over. The full scale of the disaster is still unclear. Soviet soldiers are sent to contain the disaster, but radiation spreads. Radioactive clouds rise, drifting across Europe. A global disaster unfolds. The reactor is destroyed. Radiation is far worse than expected. First responders risk their lives entering Chernobyl. Radiation proves deadly. Helicopters dropped sand and boron on the reactor. The situation is dire. Soldiers begin building a concrete sarcophagus around Reactor 4. Hours pass. The fire subsides, but the fallout spreads. Helicopters continue flying over, but radiation is too high. The danger persists. Military trucks bring supplies, but no one knows the full extent of the contamination. Radioactive contamination reaches dangerous levels. Pripyat remains unaware, but the danger is at their doorstep. Life continues in Pripyat, unaware they are living in the midst of one of the worst nuclear disasters. April 27, 1986, evacuation begins. 49,000 people leave, unaware of the true danger. Workers risk their lives to build the sarcophagus, but radiation remains lethal. Scientists observe the unfolding disaster, but the full extent of the damage is still unknown. The government announces an evacuation. The disaster's magnitude becomes clearer. As evacuees board buses, the forced displacement of entire communities begins. Smoke rises from the reactor. The world still doesn't fully comprehend the disaster. Soldiers build a massive concrete structure to contain the reactor's radiation. Concrete is poured over Reactor 4, but the radiation threat endures. Workers risk their lives daily, sealing the reactor. Radiation continues to spread. Plans are drawn for a more massive containment structure to stop further radiation leaks. Soldiers patrol the exclusion zone, but the radiation remains. Evacuees leave unsure if they'll ever return to their homes. The exclusion zone is abandoned, a symbol of the catastrophe. Scientists test the soil. Radiation levels remain dangerously high. Radiation zones are marked. Some areas will remain off-limits for centuries. Journalists begin reporting, but the Soviet government hides much of the truth. Cleanup begins. Workers dismantle damaged reactor parts, but radiation is still too high. Radioactive waste is secretly transported away from the public eye. The concrete sarcophagus continues to be built, a massive, risky effort to contain the reactor. Concrete is poured, encasing the reactor, but radiation still leaks through. Pripyat is abandoned. The exclusion zone remains a silent reminder of the disaster. Radiation levels remain dangerously high even after the cleanup. Reports flood in. The full impact of Chernobyl begins to emerge. Chernobyl is sealed off, quiet, but its lessons continue to shape the world. Helicopters continue surveying the damage. Radiation still rises. Soldiers guard Pripyat's empty streets. The town remains silent. Workers built the concrete sarcophagus, sealing the reactor from further contamination. Chernobyl remains a radioactive site, surrounded by concrete walls. Pripyat is empty. Scientists track radiation across Europe, mapping its deadly path. Government officials announce further evacuations. Thousands are forced to leave their homes. Scientists measure radiation, confirming the contamination is worse than expected. Soldiers guard the perimeter, but the people will never return. Scientists study the long-term effects of radiation on health. International communication begins. The world learns the truth of Chernobyl. The sarcophagus around Reactor 4 is completed, but the radiation threat remains. Scientists track radiation's path across Europe, a global issue now. Europe is contaminated. Thousands of kilometers of land are affected by Chernobyl's fallout. Military trucks carry supplies, but the danger of radiation remains high. Engineers monitor radiation levels, struggling to understand the full consequences. Workers continue digging, burying radioactive materials, but the threat continues. International teams arrive to help, but the scale of the disaster is overwhelming. Radiation still rises from Reactor 4. The cleanup is far from over. The exclusion zone remains dangerous for years, a silent reminder of the disaster. Scientists study soil and water, continuing to assess the long-term effects of radiation. The Soviet government acknowledges the scale of Chernobyl, but the damage is done. Generations learn about Chernobyl. The lessons of nuclear safety are taught in schools. A memorial honors the heroes who sacrificed their lives in Chernobyl. Nature slowly reclaims Chernobyl, but the scars of the disaster remain. Parts of the exclusion zone show signs of recovery, but the majority is still uninhabitable. Time continues. Chernobyl's legacy endures, shaping our future with nuclear energy. New generations learn about Chernobyl, the dangers of nuclear power, and its devastating consequences. A small monument stands in Chernobyl, honoring those lost. Scientists continue to study the land, monitoring the long-term effects of radiation. Radiation levels remain dangerously high. The threat to public health endures. Technicians monitor radiation while containment efforts continue. Engineers inspect the sarcophagus, but the danger remains. The sarcophagus stands, but Chernobyl remains a looming threat. Children learn about nuclear energy's risks. Chernobyl remains a cautionary tale. A memorial honors the heroes who risked everything to contain the disaster. Chernobyl is slowly reclaimed by nature, but its scars will never fade. Pripyat stands abandoned, a symbol of the disaster's aftermath. A single tree stands in the exclusion zone, symbolizing nature's resilience. Chernobyl's site remains shrouded in a pale light, a dark chapter in history. Never forget, the future depends on remembering the lessons of Chernobyl. Is it the end or the beginning? Only time will tell. Chernobyl, an indelible mark on the world. Protect our planet, for it's the only one we have.